All right, it's time to take a look at one of my favorite pass rushers in this draft, Laiatu Latu from out of UCLA. And take a look at what he does extremely well. He has a cadre of pass moves, and he is wonderful at using his hands, his length, and his bend. And you can see all of that here. This is at the Senior Bowl. I love this one-on-one rep. Obviously, we get a really good look at it up front. He's going against Jordan Morgan. I think a really solid tackle. That's probably back in the first round, early part of the second. And I just think this is Latu not showing off, but just showing what he can do. And I talked to him after the Senior Bowl. One of the things he talked about was using this particular move here. And this move right here is kind of this Euro cross chop, jump through cross chop, however you want to call it. And he's so good with it. And what I like about it is actually Morgan's actually not in bad shape right here. But he gets his hands a little wide, and Latu takes advantage of that. So he's going to chop with that left hand. You can see that left hand up high. He's going to chop down with that chop. Now he's going to try and come through with that one. But it doesn't quite get him there. This is where I think he is so adept. If that initial move doesn't get there, okay, what else can you do? Well, the one thing he can do is rip and bend. And you're going to see that right here. He's going to rip. See that rip? And now he's bending to the quarterback. Now he's got Jordan beat. Now, some will say, well, the quarterback stepped up. Well, if you rush, 35 times in a game, 35 pass rushes, you force a quarterback to move up like this, you're going to, one, get a sack coming back to it, and that's what Latu does. Okay? And his length, he can reach from behind and get that. That's a win for Latu. He beats Morgan, forces the quarterback to get up, but I love the use of this cross chop and then the rip and bend, boom, right there. When he goes kind of the secondary move. Okay, cross chop, not quite there yet. Okay, rip that thing through, bend back to the quarterback. Morgan's having a hard time. You can see him throw his hand up. It's like, I didn't hold him. He didn't, but I would say Latu won that, just forced that quarterback to have to step up. Now, if that's a young quarterback that doesn't feel that, that's going to end up being a sack, strip sack. That's great hand usage and pass rush move usage by Laiatu Latu of UCLA. All right, so I certainly didn't set out to embarrass University of Arizona. They got a great football program. But it just so happened that Latu had some good games against Arizona. So we showed that move for the Senior Bowl. Now he's going to go over the other side, work on this right tackle here from Arizona. So here's Latu right here. And I got the end zone shot as well. And it's the similar move. He's going to use that cross chop again. And he's interesting the way that he gets off the ball sometimes. And I watch him at the Senior Bowl. This dude's bouncing. He is bouncing. That's kind of what he's doing here. He's kind of setting him up, kind of rope-a-dope, and then all of a sudden, boom, here comes that cross chop again. But here's the thing that caught me on this one. Good hand usage again. He's going to chop that outside arm, bring that out, chop the tackle's outside arm, bring his outside arm through. Now, this is the thing that's impressive to him. A lot of guys would just end up getting up beyond the quarterback. But he's 6'6.5-ish, 260, and he is bending that thing on a straight line 2 yards where Noah Fafita is setting up as a quarterback. Fafita has nowhere to go. Look at him bend. Look at the bend of Latu. So he's beat the tackle with this cross-chop move, and now he's bending it back to the quarterback to force that incompletion. And he's got a receiver. Look at that. Look at the yards that are saved by that move by Latu. Now, let's take a look at the end zone move, and we'll talk about this a little bit more. But, man, look at that bend around the edge, flatten it, which a lot of guys can't do, and then go impact the quarterback. All right, so I apologize about the goalpost here, but I think you'll get the point here. You got Latu right there on the edge. Now you can really see his hands and his hand placement. And that's what's really fun here. He kind of gets a tight end out of the way, like, okay, get out of the way. Now he's setting him up. Now watch this chop, boom. And what I like about it is the chop is the exact perfect spot. He chops right in that forearm and then gets it down. And when he gets it down, he takes the outside arm, an outside hand, and is going to use that to propel that shoulder forward, which moves him forward, but also gives Latu some momentum as he goes by him with this cross chop. Now, look, he's clean. But now watch him gather right there, plant that foot, and bend back to the quarterback. Right tackle's like, oh, man, I'm in trouble. And I'm telling you, college tackles aren't going to see this move a lot. He's mastered this thing. Now, I talked to him at the Senior Bowl, like I said earlier, and we talked about this move. And he's like, man, the timing of it's got to be so good. And I was like, yeah, because you can get caught. And if you get caught right there, okay, now what do? Well, I showed you on the earlier move, boy, you use that rip and bend to get back inside. Doesn't even need to do it here. It just gets clean and then bends and then impacts the throw. Man, he is a dynamic pass rusher. Now, playing the run, that's going to take some work. Definitely going to take some work. But from a pass rush standpoint, he's as good as it gets. Not just this draft, but any draft.